I'm coming to you from a different background today. It's because I'm in Illinois visiting family on our annual Memorial Day travels. So, welcome to rural Illinois.
What's the difference there, Sarah? How is it different from where you
Um, it is much more wholesome. It is
live?
very, s- I don't, slow is not the right word because they're like the hardest working, most diligent, grinding people that I have such admiration for, but it is slower than Vegas, meaning it doesn't feel so busy and overwhelming. So it's a good reconnect. My parents live out in the woods, like the wilderness. It's nature. It's very reconnecting for the soul. So it's good.
Yep, yep.
What about
That's
where you're from, Duran? What's it like?
well, I grew up in a city. I grew up
Okay.
in Turkey and in Izmir and Istanbul. So it's really big city.
Mhm.
I would say Miami is more like relaxed, like it's
Okay.
it's wider. You don't have these huge buildings unless you live in downtown. But Miami has changed a lot. It used to be like slower pace. Now it's go, go, go. It's pretty crazy how the city has changed in the past 6 years. But when I go back home to Istanbul or even Izmir, which is right by the Asian side with the Mediterranean, it's like siesta. It's like people don't want to work hard. They want to take their 1 hour lunch every single day, and they want to go out. They want to have fun. It's very similar to how Italy feels or how Spain
Yeah.
feels. That's the difference. And that brings up the conversation to um, trying to do things the easy way versus, working hard and doing it the right way, I guess. This is the topic today, right, Sarah?
Yeah. I mean, I think what we've really been hitting on, we spend a lot of time on what we're building, what we're doing, how to package it, thinking about pain points and what's really going to matter. And it seems so easy when you're going through a time of change to feel like you don't want to invest money or resources because you're not quite sure about something. So you get a deal too good to be true, go through the process, and then it ends up being too good to be true because cheap doesn't equal benefit right now, especially because things are changing so fast. It's actually expensive to invest in building on our end, and we're still trying to make it affordable. But I'm watching the emergence of companies that are just spamming opportunity at this $99 price point because software is so easy to build right now. When people make a promise to make you visible to AI, that's not really possible unless you have access to everything that bigger companies or companies like us have discovered, right? I mean,
Yep. And you always have that, but I actually have a prediction. I think that, and again, I get a lot of hate, or let's call it dislike, because I say things like this. Like I see it's going to be a huge exodus of companies just going out of business because they're not investing. They're on autopilot. Things are moving so fast. I mean, as an organization, I would say maybe we are investing 10% of our revenue back into the business in terms of R&D. I don't have to spend that money. I mean, Sarah, you and I as partners, we could just pocket that money, right?
but that's
But
not
we're saying, well, we just hired 3 additional AI engineers, for example. I don't really need AI engineers, but I need them. Um, so I think that's what people are doing. They're like, I'm going to try to save money here, but you don't want to try to save money with your brand identity, your reputation, your visibility, your perception. And the reason we're having this conversation is all these tools started coming up. Like, there are like press release tools for $95, and hey, let us put you on the AI models for $90. And it's absolutely bonkers. Like, there's no freaking way that that's going to work for you. And even if it did, it's going to kill your reputation. So I guess my question to you, Sarah, is you've been doing this for a long time, for almost 2 decades. You're in comms, you manage brands. Is it okay for small businesses that can't afford thousands of dollars to test a tool for $90 a month to try to see if it works or not? Is that what do you feel about that?
I think they're going to do it anyway, right? If I just put myself in that mentality, I'm like $99 to compete against my Fortune 500 competitor, maybe I will invest at $99. The company that are building those products, though, are not going to have longevity or long-term customers because they're treating those people like a one-time, you know, moment because they're just not going to get it. The background and technology of what really works, let's talk about press releases on the wire, for example. Unless you've met with every single wire service, found out how their technology works, have the insights to find out what style and schema of content are going to perform well, and you're actually basing that off of data that you're trying to change or reach, like the customer you're trying to reach, how they're prompting, how they're potentially prompting in different LLMs and what those responses are, you're already starting from a faulty place. So there's multiple layers missing from that. And that's why it doesn't work. So yes, you could go ahead and shoot out press releases on the wire all day long. Maybe you hit, like the lottery, 1 in 100 works because you did something right, but you're never going to know what that thing was that you did right. You're probably linking to your homepage, which isn't going to help you. So there's just layers of missed opportunities. If you're going to spend $99, you might as well spend, $600 and have something that's going to eventually drive you traffic and link to sales.
Yeah. Yep. And the challenge with all of this is you almost have like one opportunity to really build your topic clusters and your keyword, your prompt universe. And if you start doing that the incorrect way, and if you just put something out there that's not optimized or flat out incorrect because you don't know what you're doing, like I always say this, like, when you go to a brain surgeon, you don't sit in front of him. You don't say, "Hey, I want you to cut it here." Like, this is just,
Yeah.
When did we stop letting experts do things? And I think one of the challenges here is that, for industries like ours that is not regulated. I mean, can you imagine our industry being regulated if you had to go to school or pass 10 exams to be able to be the only ones that practice this? Like, it would be completely different.
It would. And
Um,
Ron, when you said why people are asking experts, like giving them advice, it's because they've probably been scammed or burned by someone, and then they become micromanagers of the new people.
Correct. Correct. So it goes back. Look, if you want to save money and if you don't want to spend thousands of dollars and if you want to test something out for $100 if it works or not, yeah, it's a no-brainer. I would think in the same manner.
Mhm.
But if that has to do with my brand and the longevity of my business and how I'm going to be operating in the next 3 to 5 years, I wouldn't do the $95. Imagine I'm actually signing a big agreement right now. Do you think that I would hire an attorney that costs $50 an hour? Even if there was one? No, that's just insane. I'm risking the entire future of this and of this, or you're gonna get married and you're worth $100 million. Are you gonna spend $50,000 on your prenuptial agreement? There's a difference between $50,000 prenuptial agreement versus a $500,000 prenuptial agreement. There's a difference between $1,000 divorce lawyer versus a $50,000 divorce lawyer, and it's okay, in my opinion, for small businesses to test this out, but just to expect insane output from that, or insane results, or any legitimate results, I would say.
Yeah.
But I don't think we're going to fix that. We're going to change that, right? Uh, I guess let's ask this, Sarah. Like, I would love to sell this for $95 and sell it to 100,000 people,
I wish.
right? Why can't we do it for $100?
I feel like we've priced everything we've built as affordably as possible. I mean, how many times have I said I have to slash traditional PR budgets because it just doesn't work? Part of it is proprietary technology, right? We're building, creating, monitoring, and updating this expensive technology on the back end that we give our clients to access to. There's no way they're going to build it, and it would be exponentially too expensive. Then you get let's put it together and call it 50, 60 years of wisdom from our team, our senior team, that knowledge and how we've built things. And then all of the proof of concepts that we've built. There's just layers to everything that we've built. So even though we price something at, $3,000, you're getting let's call it $20,000 worth of value.
Yeah, yeah. And the other thing that happens is, this is actually more messed up. When you look at these tools, they all have, agency models.
Hmm.
And when you look at the agency pricing, as an agency, you can literally spend $1,500 instead of 99. You can have unlimited clients, and this is for agencies to actually take it, for pay $99 and go say, hey, we do all of this as an agency, and charge $2,000 for it just using the software.
Hmm.
That's another thing where you're taking it. Yeah, if you want to double it because you're going to do work on it, that's fine. But you're seeing agencies 5x, 10x the entire thing, and that really kills the industry. Like, it doesn't help. Yeah, you'll be able to make money in the short term, but it kills your churn. It doesn't generate results. um I don't know, it's just this entire model,
Well,
um of software and reselling software, I think, is going to die really quickly.
I do too. Let's dig in on this. Let's just use AI visibility because this is even we're using this terminology because it's the most universally, I'd say, accepted right now, or AI authority. We have our own idea of what's coming, and it's what just traditional PR is evolving into AI perception, which is much more strategic. But let's talk about spotting red flags for these AI visibility companies and what that actually looks like promises. We'll send you out a press release and get you visible in AI. Why is that not possible? Talk me through this, John, because we've built so many things. I see the hundreds and hundreds of hours we're investing to even correlate things. Like, what are some of the red flags for these companies that promise that?
Well, here's the thing. You're really paying for the same process, right? Imagine if I go to the doctor, I have I have pain in my leg, right? And the doctor says, here is the pill for you. Okay. Then somebody else goes and says, hey, I have pain in my head over here.
Mhm.
The doctor suggests the same pill, right? Or you go and somebody basically goes and says, hey, my nose is literally bleeding, it won't stop. And you just give the same pill. This is exactly what this does. Like, the software should be an analysis tool, indication tool, research tool, but it treats everybody the same way. So yes, there will be some people who win with that software, but it's going to be less than 1 or 2%. And then the 99, 98% of people are burned. If I'm in a really niche industry and I use one of these softwares, for it might do something for me. The difference in how it should be done, again, I can give 10 examples of this, is it should be customized to you.
Mhm.
Of course, I want to sell this, and of course, I want to make tens of thousands of dollars from clients, but this is priced very competitively, even when we do it, and it costs thousands of dollars. This is back in the day when people promised, hey, we'll rank you for 100 keywords for
Yeah.
SEO, and it's $100. How are you exactly going to do that? But I think what happens, Sarah, is, and unfortunately, business owners are at fault for this, is if I'm paying $100 for something per month, I don't care. I can check it off in my mind. I'm like, I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
And it just charges to my credit card, obviously. It's the difference between price and value, right? But I'm not really focusing on the lost opportunity. Time is something that we all value the most, but we all want the most but use the worst.
Yeah.
So it's like, what is the opportunity cost of you just wasting your time for the next 12 months thinking that you're addressing something, but you're not?
And also, you just said it, the companies early on that said, we'll get you ranked for all these keywords. How many actually hurt brands because they were using either, white hat or unethical tactics to just get the results? And then later on, when Google started dinging people for, link stuffing and all these other things, the business owners didn't have acumen enough to know what was happening. And I just view this as the next cycle of that. Like the AI slop, the expedited, fast answers or lack thereof, or maybe fake results. I don't know, but it's like phase two of that, round two.
It happens every day. Look, you have a complaint. I always give this example. You go to the doctor, and the doctor misdiagnoses you. What happens? You suffer.
Yeah.
Most likely, you die.
Mhm.
Like businesses die every day because of this, because they don't do the right things that they're supposed to do. It's kind of like, I'm not going to try to, you can't try to save money with your taxes. You can optimize your finances, but you can't be like, oh no, I don't want to pay these taxes.
Yeah.
It's like this huge risk. You got to pay your taxes.
Yeah.
It's like there's no workaround with that. I think marketing, perception, visibility, reputation. I mean, I spoke to a prospect yesterday. Their run rate is $100 million. They
Okay.
literally went from 0 to 10 million a month in a matter of like 12 months,
It's insane.
scaling crazy. And when you look at the reputation of this brand, it's suffering significantly because of that scale, because they're not shipping items on time. They have quality problems. I mean, imagine going from 0 to 10 million in 10 months. That's like,
That's insane.
and the leak with the reputation of this company is millions of dollars. And if he doesn't fix that, he's going to lose probably 15-20 million dollars in the next 12 months, because a lot of people who actually want to buy the product go to Google, search for it, they see the negative reviews, they don't buy.
Yeah.
Right? So this is not like an if. This is a must, especially if you're doing anywhere from $5 to $50 million in annual revenue. You got to do this. If you don't do it for visibility, you got to do it for reputation.
So let's talk about that. Let's workshop, like to close out today's session to show how we actually think and work and what we're building, right? So this client, let's say they're our client and we want to help fix that. And we know that they are an ethical brand, right? The biggest thing is they've got maybe a supply chain issue. Let's call it that. Okay, let's just use
Right.
an ethical example. How do we go about fixing that so that when someone goes to ChatGPT and says, should I buy from this company? Should I work with this company? We can spoon feed them the exact result. And maybe it's people have complained about this, but the real answer is this is a supply chain issue. If you really want this product and you can wait for it, here's what you need to do. Some, very important
Yeah.
answer.
I
We
mean,
can do
I literally worked on the strategy yesterday, maybe for a few hours. Like, what you want to do is first we run 1,000 to 10,000 prompts on their main topic clusters, and this is the reputation one, right? You identify what the issue is, and for that we have to send 6 to 8 AI agents. We have to crawl the entire web. We have to find out every single Reddit review, every single Trustpilot, every single website review, every single Google review. You break down what people are complaining about, and you pull all that in, and then you basically determine what needs to happen after that.
Mhm.
And we have to run that in a specific manner. And then you create topic clusters. Like I have, for example, here, there's one that's going to address, the content strategy is you got to look at materials. You got to look at service improvement announcements with the product. You have to get verified long-term testimonials with photos. You got to look at the credibility of the business, industry positioning, supply chain. Where is the complaint? If the complaint is you're not shipping things fast enough, then that needs to be addressed to AI. So AI sees like, okay, well, they're not shipping this fast enough, but here is why, because there has been issues with the supply chain, with this specific raw material. Like, you're educating so that the AI says, yes, this brand has had problems with shipping, blah, blah, blah. However, it's noted that there has been raw material, blah, blah, delays. So it's like you're giving reasoning to AI to actually know what to say, so the sentiment is not 100% negative.
Exactly. And there's a very specific formula and way that you can actually do that, because you have to learn about how people are phrasing things. And then you have to set up the authority system to make sure that is what is fed to it. And that's through a combination of what you put on your own site, written for what would respond to that. And then you have to give some authority to that site through a few ways that we have nailed down through our AI notices and some digital PR articles. And it's a beautiful trifecta, but it matters with the research, the way you write it, the way you distribute it, and how you build authority to it.
Yeah. It's not that, look, you can simplify the offer. It's not just about showing up. It's about understanding the perception and the sentiment of how you show up. with what value proposition you show up. You don't want to be the cheapest product. This is the cheapest product in the market. Like, that's not a good selling proposition. So what a DIY system is going to do is, there's opportunity here because there's search volume. This has nothing to do with that. Whatever, if you're going after search volume, you might as well just burn that cash. Who cares about the search volume? What's your ideal customer profile? What's the super consumer profile? What are you undeniably the best at? That's what you have to write about. And there's a difference. Again, there's a difference between a $50 attorney and a $1,000 an hour attorney. There's a difference between a doctor that charges you $1,000 for surgery and $1 million per surgery. Like, there are certain things you cannot be cheap with. And your brand, if you want to do good business, if you want to make millions of dollars, is one of those things. So, test these tools, $95, $99 all day long to try to see the UI UX, but don't put all of your eggs in one basket, because this will probably most likely destroy your reputation. Or it's going to be like, and the worst is this: I tried this, it doesn't work. This is the death of business owners. We tried Meta. We tried advertising on Meta. It doesn't work. Oh, really? Okay, so you spent $1,000. You were cheap. You didn't hire the right people. You slapped an ad, and you decided it doesn't work. Now that has killed any future opportunity for you on Meta, where people make billions of dollars. Like, this is the thing that kills businesses, and people don't realize that.
I wanted to show an example, John, of what you were talking about when we say how we kind of spoon feed content, because sometimes your own website maybe isn't authoritative enough on a particular topic, or you need to get something out fast. This is one way we've done it through our AI notices. So if somebody was asking, like, should I work with Zen Media? What about Zen Media? It pulls a lot of LinkedIn for us, but it also pulls our Globe Newswire AI notices as sources of information, even versus our own website as third-party credibility systems. So if we knew there was some controversy with our company, we could get one of these out, and we know that that would probably in about 2 hours impact what people see for the response, which is wild. That's Google AI mode, AI overview. It also happens in ChatGPT. It also happens in Claude.
Yeah, and let's end it on this note. 2 questions. What are you absolutely the best at that nobody can deny? And how can you get overabundance of proof that you are the best at that? Now, I can tell you right now, without any question, today, with what I know, Zen Media is the best AI visibility and perception agency in the world right now. I don't see any technology, anybody that comes remotely close to how deep we go when we analyze sentiment, when we analyze these topic clusters, when we analyze prompts, when we analyze strategy, and just the pure number of the creations that we have to be able to nail that down. And you know this, Sarah, it's every single week we're talking about something. We're not just sitting back and selling this, which we could, by the way. We're like, okay, our objective is to be the best at this. How can I open that gap between me and the next competitor behind me as much as possible, so there's no question about it?
And then strategy and execution. I mean, we're talking about just the behind the scenes chunk. Then we've got these other 2 modalities that sit on top of it. And it's because we're approaching it from all of our years of authority in our respective spaces. And we have teams completely trained on this. We've got things built. So it's not just get plug and play into a piece of software. I mean, if you want people who are the most trustworthy and ethical in a space, who always have been, to now execute, I think that is our winning ticket.
Yeah. And look, it's not cheap.
No.
It's not cheap. If you can't afford it, that's fine. It's not cheap. But it has a money back guarantee for a reason. We literally, like, show me another company that gives you a money back guarantee on something like this. You will not find one. Even the $99 one does not give you a money back guarantee. It's $99. Refund it if it doesn't work,
Let me put this, because what you're talking about, Duran, is this new offer we put together. We've got so many different versions of this coming for different industries. And we've perfected it. We've got proof of concepts. But this is so cool. And I actually am sending it out to my personal network. offer.zenmedia.com. This is it's something
And
I'm
that's how burned, and that's how burned and how how untrusting we are now. We don't even trust the money back guarantee offer.
I know.
Like I should be selling 1,000 of these. I can't deliver it, but I should be getting a request for 1,000, and we don't. We get nice requests, but it's like people are so suspicious. There's a huge trust issue in the market right now because of these goddamn $90 solutions, because of the companies that burn the industry. And let's not, as marketers, respectfully, let's not do this shit anymore. It doesn't work. Everybody's your reputation, my reputation is very important.
And
It's more important than the money in my pocket.
we're scaling ethically too. There's a reason we tell people we're only doing 10 of these a month. We're not trying to sell 1,000 because we need to be able to deliver. And every time we do our next chunk of 10, we've got 10 more awesome proof of concepts. And then we, hire more people and take on more.
Yeah, it goes back to the first principle, the first principles, the fundamentals, right? You want to scale ethic, but nowadays everybody's chasing the next raise, the next hot thing, the next. I think the industry in the next 3 to 5 years is going to go back to fundamentals. You see all these AI unicorns valued at $1 billion.
They're all valued at $1 billion.
The hell you are valued at $1 billion. Um, it's just somebody else pushing the agenda for you. It's like if you have a really, really good product, yeah, you can scale slowly, and unless you're trying to just make $50-100 million overnight, that's fine too. But we've seen how many times we've been burned by that approach.
Yeah.
It's just just invest wisely in your business. You can't. I've been saying this for 2 decades. You can't buy marketing as an expense. You have to buy it as an investment. And that's where companies lose. They buy it as an expense. They're like, oh, I'm not going to pay this agency $3,000. I'll just work with this $300 freelancer on Upwork. Well, yeah, it might work if you're doing, I don't know, $500,000, but you are a dumbass if you have a $5-10 million business and you're working with freelancers for $30 an hour and you think you're getting the same thing. You just are not.
I mean, it's true. We've built something I'm really proud of and love to see it grow. And I do want to protect the industry. And Dron, you and I are very adamant.
Yeah, you say no to me all the time. I'm like, Sarah, can we just do this? You're like, no. Sarah, can we sell this? You're like, no, we can't say that. We can't do that. I'm like, let's just make money. And you stop it, right? Like you have to have these people in your organization who are like, no, we can't do that. We can't say that. We can't sell that.
Yeah.
If it was up to me, we'd be already at, $10 million ARR on the service.
But we're going to do it the right way so we have longevity. And I love ideas. I hate being an idea killer. And I feel like PR comes in the room and that's what people treat us as. Because we're like, yes, we can say that. No, we can't. But it's because I will protect all reputation at any level. It's just inherent to the role.
Yeah. I mean, a deal is only a good deal if it's good for both sides, right?
Yes.
So that's what we're attempting to do here. We're trying to create a deal. But if you're, as a final note, if you're looking at these $99, $200, $300 month solutions, yeah, go ahead, sign up, test it. But don't expect miracles from it. Oh, I'm going to show up on AI results and I'll fix my reputation. No freaking way. No way, because we see how complex this is. We run 3 million prompts on a monthly basis. We see all of this insight.
Yeah.
You're not just going to stumble upon success in this manner, not in this day and age. Maybe that would have worked 20 years ago, but no way.
All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'll be back the rest of this week from Illinois, and we'll see you soon.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.